So that was, I remember distinctly sitting at my desk at that point, and I'm thinking, this is the lowest possible place I could be at right now. My fat, unattractive girlfriend has just cheated on me, who I was supposed to marry and who I was supposed to like cherish forever, and my life's over. Rock bottom. Who's had rock bottom? Okay, so the key to the quest and the first ever thing that when I know a quest is coming, all right, in my own personal life, when I've been on a series of quests, and guess what, as dudes, the quests never end, okay, they never ever end. The first time I know when I'm about to step on a quest is when rock bottom hits. And there's no consoling with the friends, there's no it's a place of solitude where you're just like alone with your tears and sadness and just like, I fucking suck right now. All right? And that's when I know that automatically precedes a quest. So what do I do on this little quest? There's a little fire of passion that like ignites inside. There's like a layer of sadness and a little fire of passion, all right, that ignites inside. I'm like, I know what I need to do. I need to go on the internet and write how to pick up chicks into Google. So that's exactly what I did. I went over to the computer, how to pick up girls. And that led me to a whole heap of stuff that was like, it's okay to kind of suck with chicks. And there's a whole bunch of things that you can do completely opposite to what I was doing that will help you all in that way. And I decided at that moment, I'm not just going to, dabble in this little, getting good with girls thing. I'm going to be the best at this shit. Fuck it. I'm going to step up and I'm going to be the best at it. So then I proceeded to run around the local nightclubs in my home with stories that actually at that stage, it's way back in the day, this is 10 years ago now, way back in the day when people used to post in forums, they were called field reports. They'd post like, pretty much it looked like lightning bolts were shooting out their ass in the nightclub and like all this cool, amazing shit was happening. Like 8 girls with me. Yeah, it was awesome. All I did was say hello and 8 girls came out. I was like, oh, holy shit. I need to do what this guy's doing, right? So I was like believing so much in this stuff. So it was like, okay, if this little guy can do it, and funnily enough, he was probably just sitting there on his computer like, yeah, I was with 8 girls. I'd walk out and I'd be like, okay, let's try the 8 girl trick, whatever that guy did, all right? And I was using these hopeless openers and just disaster, but tearing it up. But inside, I felt like I was kicking ass because, I'd hit rock bottom. This is better than fat cheating girlfriend of doom. At least I'm talking to like these hot girls. That's better than what the previous shit was. So I started to feel like I was the best, like I was the lord of like pick up glory, right? So completely delusional, completely weird. My family's like, what the fuck's happening? He's wearing pink shirts. Like what the fuck? My dad thought I was homosexual. Proceeded to do that. And then, so this guy kept popping up, this Tyler Durden guy, right? And he's like, oh, this guy, more shit, like I'm blasting out the club. I was like, yeah, this guy's all right. Then he started his own little, coaching thing. It's like, all right. So at that moment, I kind of had to, again, same as like, guy with 8 girls, I had to kind of like, in my mind, do what's called suspending disbelief. All right? So you'll hear a lot of theory, you'll hear a lot of stuff, I might say it or whatever, and there's a place in your mind that goes, this guy's full of fucking shit. And there's a place in your mind, like, you'll hear some theory, and there's a place in your mind like, what I'm reading right now, this is bullshit, right? There's a place in that. But you have to suspend that little voice in order to open up that, I guess, that passion and that energy and all that sort of stuff. So I was a delusional little pink-shirted man. And I flew up to Sydney because they came out to Sydney to do this little conference. So I was like, all right, I need to meet this Tyler Durden character and see what he's all about. So I flew up there, and funnily enough, I hope the guys that were at that course aren't watching this video later on, but I walk in and I'm like, I look around and it's not like the room today, but back in the day, pickup was some creepy ass shit, okay? There was some characters in that shit, man, like characters, okay? Like sparkly vest man walking, like, wow, this is interesting. Sparkly vest man, real greasy, creepy hair man. There was like some really weird characters going on at this conference. I was like, well, I may be in with a shoddy. I think I might be able to handle myself with all these like guys. Like they're complete opposite of, like what I would say good with men. Because look good with women because I had a vision in my head of what like a pickup master would look like, and all of the guys had nothing, looked nothing like that. So anyway, I meet this Tyler guy, and he seems kind of cool. He's rad. And the biggest thing I noticed about this guy, Tyler, his name's Owen, and you guys all probably know of this guy from Real Social Dynamics. First thing I noted about him was point number one. He was bold as shit. Okay, like we went out to the nightclub, and we walk in together, and the first thing, he's like a man, like a Terminator. That's what he is. He's a Terminator. And walk in, he's like, boom, over these huge bouncer guys, like massive bouncer dudes, and just like a cute little girl sitting there. He kneels down in front of her. He's like, hey, what's going on? And like some 80s dog's opener or something comes out of his mouth. She's like, oh my God. We all get kicked out, but to me, I'm like, this guy's amazing. This is amazing. This is the shit. All right. So that weekend, I ran around with like a whole bunch of creepy man actually, a bunch of creepy dudes. I ran around, and I was probably the less creepy of them all. Still had my pink shirt on, but still probably the less creepy. So this got me noticed because I distinctly remember this one time, Tyler and I walk out, and just on the street, I grab this girl. Hey, what's up? You know, what's going on? Didn't worry about all the openers and bullshit, and then just went, oh, I might be able to go for the kiss now. Boom, kissed her under like 30 seconds or something like that. So a couple of days later, I get an email. Hey man, we're thinking about doing this RSD thing in Australia and wondering if you want to be a part of it. And so I just exploded. I was like, whoa, this is the shit. This is like going to be the best. It's going to be the best. This is my career. I'm going to be awesome. So flew out to Hollywood. Oh, I had to explain it to mum and dad. Okay, that was tough. Dad still thinks I'm massively homosexual at that point, right? And flew out, and then proceeded to fly around the world and teach guys how to get better at it. And again, in the early stages, I actually, deep down, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Like, honestly, I read all the books, I had all the stuff, I was going out, I was trying to pick up chicks, but then I found myself in a position where I was coaching other guys, and I still felt like I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. All right? So a little message for you guys is that little boldness, passion, and will that I had, like all those three powers kind of combined to make all that stuff happen, even though I probably sucked, right? I probably wasn't the greatest, okay? But all those things combined to make it happen. So distinct, it really resonated with me that, okay, like people would sit back and listen if you were just bold and went after it. Who's approached a girl in a club surrounded by a bunch of dudes before? Hands up. Okay. Did it go well? Yes or no? No, yes. It's mixed, okay. Generally, the amount of boldness and energy that you bring to that situation predicts how well that's going to go. Last week, I was out at a club and walking through with one of my mates who has no idea about pickup, no idea I was even in pickup, actually doesn't really know what I do or have any idea because he just thinks I'm chode around all day or whatever. So we're walking in the club together, he's like, oh man, geez, she's hot, isn't she? Oh, peace, she's surrounded by all those dudes. Oh, yeah, it's a pity, isn't it? So I hand him the drink, and he knows I've never been in this stuff or whatever. So I hand him the drink, I'm like, yeah, that's a pity, isn't it? Hand him the drink, boom, walk over, dudes out of the way, right, like just boom, dudes out of the way. Hey, what's up, I'm Tim, I had to meet you, what's going on? Like just this little lead here. Hey, what's up, I'm Tim, what's going on? And it was like, the boldness of the move, okay, did two things. Number one, it shut down all the guys. And these were big dudes, right? Like, these were jacked steroid men. And there's always those guys at the bar. It's like, fuck, why don't I have those muscles, right? And so jacked dudes are all like, what the fuck is this, right? Like, it just makes them like, go back into their head. And it's addictive doing that too, by the way. Like, if you do this a couple of times, it's just like, it's as much fun as getting the girl. All the guys like crumbling around you. So they're just like, it's like a lean. It's like, oh my God, he's going to take our girl away from us, right? So they go back in their head, and literally it's just hey, what's going on? Yeah, and then like a moth to a flame. So she's noticing subconsciously the dude's crumbling, and then noticing like just this dude like pulling her away, right? So she's just like leading, like, what's going on? Oh, what? What's your name? Right, like this. So pulling her in, yeah, I'm Tim, cool. Yeah, I just thought you were super cute and we had to meet. She's like, oh my God. Like, and then boom, it all just exploded. But you've got to be wary, okay? Because